ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Okay, let's start. So last time, if you remember, we were looking at the 11th verse of the Vishnu Sahasranama, Ajas Sarveshwara Siddhaha. We had seen till Sarveshwaraha. Next, now today we start with Siddhaha. Siddhaha, if you look at the definition, Nitya Nishpanna Rupatvat Siddhaha. One who is always in a very pure form, or you can say refined form. Now, what is the meaning of this? For this, you come across people who are called Siddhas. You can say great people, or they are not normal human beings, something beyond normal human qualities, or you can say whatever a normal man has, the behavior will be slightly different. You can say a combination of human as well as a bit of divine qualities. They are Siddha. So for this, this is one meaning. Another meaning to this is one who maybe Siddhi Karna, we say, right, in Hindi also. That means Siddha meaning to achieve something. So Siddh Karna, or to prove something, that is also another meaning. Now for this there is a story. Once Lord Brahma, he decided to do a lot of tapasya, meditation on Lord Vishnu. But then, now just like all of us also, even if you want to do meditation, there are so many disturbances that come, right? The minute we close our eyes, different thoughts come to our mind. We are distracted by different things. Maybe you get a phone call, you see a message. It can be any kind of distraction. So like this, Brahma also, though Lord Brahma himself, so you imagine the plight of us, he used to get distracted continuously. He could not concentrate, he could not meditate properly. So now he was very much disturbed. So, and he had taken a sankalpa that he wants to meditate for about 1000 years. Now he felt that even for a small time also meditation is not taking place. What, I made such a great sankalpa of meditating for 1000 years. Now what should I do? So now what he did was he prayed to Lord Vishnu only. So he prayed to Lord Vishnu and he said that I want to meditate on you, but I am not able to do that. So you only advise me now, what should I do? So Vishnu, he says that you have decided to do a lot of meditation, and Brahma, he had taken another sankalpa, that is to do 1000 Ashwamedha yagas, Ashwamedha sacrifices. So he wanted to meditate on Vishnu for many years, and at the same time he wanted to do 1000 Ashwamedha sacrifices, not one, not two, about 1000. So this was the sankalpa that he had taken. So, but it was being very difficult for Brahma, so he prayed to Vishnu, and Vishnu then advised him. He said that you do one thing, you go to Kanchipura Kshetram. Kanchipura Kshetram, another name for that is Satyavrata Kshetram. Go to this Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu today. This place is very, very pure. And it is said that whatever you do here once, that is equal to being done 1000 times. Now this is for good as well as bad things. So if you do something even in Kanchipuram, if you do one papa, it is equal to doing 1000 papas. So remember, this too is going to be good as well as bad. So similarly, because you have taken a sankalpa of doing 1000 Ashwamedha yagas, you can do one thing, you do one Ashwamedha yagam in Kanchipuram, that is equal to 1000 Ashwamedha yagas. So that is the reason why even today if you go to Kanchipuram, you have Vishnu Kanchi and Shiva Kanchi. About roughly 108 temples in praise of Lord Vishnu as well as for Lord Shiva, and of course many other temples too. So Kanchipura Kshetram, at least once in a lifetime you must visit there. And so like this, Vishnu advises Brahma. Brahma says okay. Now he goes to Kanchipuram. Now Kanchipuram, if you see, it is located in Tamil Nadu, and usually whenever you go to Tamil Nadu, we all know that it is very, very hot there, right? So the climate is always hot. You go to any part of Tamil Nadu, you don't have the concept of winter or even rains also. Though they hit Tamil Nadu, it will not be like the normal rainy season that takes place. Like if you go to even Chennai or all other sides, I think there are a few people from that side. So you'll know that though rains come in, it is not in the normal rainy season, right? Maybe that's from June and that part. Of course, when rains come, usually it leads to some flood-like situation, or rains as such is not a concept which is there for Tamil Nadu. So therefore even rivers also, though we have a few rivers like Tamraparni and so on, Kaveri flowing in, not many rivers are there. So then now for doing a sacrifice, you need a river. So now Brahma was again, he was thinking what to do, I don't have a river. Especially on the outskirts of Kanchipuram, you don't have a river flowing in. for doing Ashwamedha sacrifice or for doing any sacrifice, we need water, right? Or even a small puja also we do, always the priest will tell that in the kumbham, in a kalasham, get some water. So now there is no water at all, and usually because it is very hot there, the climate is also very hot, and there's not much water bodies in, it is very difficult to get water also. So then Brahma was thinking, now what should I do next? So next he feels that so this is one problem that he had. Second problem was, to do a sacrifice we always need a grihastha. If the person should be a grihastha, householder, that is both the man and the wife, both should be there. Now Saraswati, goddess Saraswati, she used to be very busy. We know the wife of Brahma is Saraswati. She plays the veena, so she used to have many concerts, it seems. Now in heaven, usually Indra Loka, Brahma Loka and so on, Indra likes to be entertained, right? So they used to have continuous music concerts, and Saraswati used to be very busy. She used to go about here and there playing the veena, and she is also the goddess of knowledge. So she used to be very busy in learning, teaching and so on. So now Brahma needed a wife there. So at that time what happens is that he prays to Vishnu. So you see the calamities and the problems that come in his way. First of all, he decides to do meditation, he could not. Then he decides to do 1000 Ashwamedha sacrifices, he could not. Finally Vishnu comes and gives him a solution. There also he is facing many problems. This is equal to all our lives also. Even though we decide to do something good, there are going to be hurdles that come our way. We should find a way. So Brahma is also trying to find out different solutions to the problems that are coming. So next he decides, okay, now a river I need, but before that a river at least now I will get water from somewhere, but being a grihastha, to do the Ashwamedha sacrifice, I need my wife. Saraswati is very busy. So at that time he marries a woman called Savitri. In some references it is also given as Gayatri. You have this reference in the Vishnu Purana, Brahma Purana and so on. Gayatri Devi, some references it is Savitri Devi. So he marries, just for the sake of doing the sacrifice, Brahma ends up marrying Savitri goddess. Now, just like all other women, Saraswati also could not bear this thought. My husband getting married to someone else, spending time with some other woman. Immediately, from wherever she was busy in some concert or so, immediately she rushes from there, she comes there, and in her anger, she flows Vedavati, that is a river which we find even today in Tamil Nadu. Vegavati, another reference is Vedavati. So Vegam meaning very fast, she flows with speed, and that's how the river comes in, Vedavati. Today it is called as Vegavati. There is a river that is there. Some people call it as Vedavati, some people call it as Vegavati. Vegavati is the most popular name because she comes in that speed and anger, she gushes about and she changes her form into a river and she flows in Kanchipuram. So that's how the river has come in. And you also have a bridge that is there, Vega Setu. It's called the Vega Setu, the bridge that is built on the river. So like this, Saraswati also flows there, but still somehow this is the reason why we have the reference of Gayatri and Savitri being the wives of Brahma, just to do this sacrifice. And now finally he had the river coming in, then he also married the woman, he could do the Ashwamedha sacrifice. He did once, the phala or the merit for the sacrifice was equal to doing 1000 sacrifices. Now next is, at this time now Vishnu is finally happy with Brahma's devotion and he manifests himself as Ativaradar. Ativaradar concept that we have in Kanchipuram. Those who don't know, maybe you can find out a bit about it. So Ativaradar concept, once in 40 years you have, I think it was about 3-4 years back. Anyone has seen that Ativaradar? Or you have heard about it?
Not visit, but heard about it.
Okay.
Yes, madam, I have seen. Yes.
You have seen, right?
Okay.
Ativaradar temple, and it is also a concept wherein Lord Varada is brought about. And I think this even in a few other places also, like I think in Chennai also you have this Ativaradar temple. So this was mainly this Ativaradar. This is the same Vishnu who was worshipped by Lord Brahma in Kanchipuram, and he manifests himself once in 40 years. I think about 3-4 years back or so it had come. So in the Satya Yuga it was worshipped. The same Ativaradar was worshipped. Ativaradar is a form of Lord Vishnu. He was worshipped by Brahma in the Satya Yuga. Then same Gajendra Moksha, we have the concept of Gajendra. He worshipped the same Ativaradar in the Treta Yuga. And sage Brihaspati, Guru of the gods, he worshipped Ativaradar in the Dwapara Yuga. And Sheshanaga or Ananta, on whom Lord Vishnu sleeps, he has worshipped this Ativaradar in the Kali Yuga. Like this you have different references. So this is a story of this Ativaradar, and that's how even till date we have this concept of Ativaradar manifesting himself and giving darshan to devotees once in 40 years. So this is Siddhaha. So this is how Brahma finally he completes his sacrifice successfully. So Siddhaha, the literally means one who is needed for everything. So though Vishnu here he comes and point number one, Brahma wishes to pray to Lord Vishnu, he had so many hurdles. So he went to Lord Vishnu only and says that I am facing a lot of problems, you guide me. There the Lord helped. Even though the Lord gave him a solution, there also he had many hurdles that came in. Finally he goes to Kanchipuram, then he does, there also he found many problems, he could not have a wife. Then somehow he married Gayatri, Savitri and so on. So like this different hurdles that come in, but still he needed the Lord's grace at every point. Lord's guidance was needed. So even though he wanted to pray and meditate on the Lord, still the Lord only came and guided and showed him the right way. So one who is needed for everything. That is the meaning of this Siddhaha. Refined form, when we say one who is a knower of everything. So though you want to achieve something, though you want to pray to someone, we are only asking the person the means to pray. Right? So that is, I'll give you a simple example. Maybe we want to help someone. Now, usually whenever we want to help someone, maybe someone is in trouble or in need, what we do is, we don't go and ask the person, right? Do you want money? Or what is your problem? Usually we don't ask, because it feels a bit awkward in asking people. We directly just give whatever we can, we directly give to the person. So we don't ask any amount also. Whenever we give something in donation, now in few places they write, right? Like say for example, you go to a temple, puja or something, for the different contributions that are mentioned, for this is 501, 1001, something like that, that is different. But in charity, when we give to someone, the person or the organization that is there, usually they don't tell us any amount. We give it on our own, right? Now someone is in need, say okay, I can give 1,000 rupees, I'll give you 1,000 rupees. Someone says no, I can give you 10,000, I'll give you. Someone says I can give you 500, I'll give you. So it depends on us. And whatever the person, whatever the people give, we accept it. There is no minimum or maximum amount. So usually when we want to help someone, or when we are meditating on someone, or you want to worship someone, usually we don't go and ask a person only, how should I worship you, or how should I help you, what should I give you. But in the case of Brahma, he could not find a solution at all to pray to the Lord. Though he wished to do that, he consulted the Lord himself. The Lord himself showed him the way. So this is Siddhaha, one who helps in all endeavors, be it even in achieving himself also. So this is again a life lesson for all of us. We must never feel proud that I am worshipping the Lord, I am showing so much of devotion, I am doing this puja, I am chanting his names, I am listening to the stories of Vishnu Sahasranama, I am chanting this, I am chanting that, I am building temples, I am giving in donation for puja, art, puja, worship, this and that. We must never feel proud. If we are doing something good, that can be only and only due to the grace of the Lord. Otherwise, we would have never done anything. So Siddhaha meaning one who himself assures or who himself ensures that we are always on the right path, or we do the same things, we do the right things, as well as seek his own guidance for doing the things. So this is the meaning of this name Siddhaha. The nama here is Siddhaya Namaha. Siddhaya Namaha. If this nama is chanted, he will always guide us. The Lord always guides us in whatever we do. So without the grace, nothing is possible. So just as he helped Brahma, he will also help devotees like all of us. Okay, did everyone understand this nama, Siddhaha?
Yes, Lakshmi.
Okay, next. Siddhihi. Ajas Sarveshwara Siddhaha Siddhihi. Now Siddhihi. सर्ववस्तुषु संविद्रूपत्वात् निरतिशय रूपत्वाद् वा सिद्धि. Limitless form. Limitless. That is, there is no limit. He can be small, he can be big, he can be of medium size. We cannot define at all. So, one whose form cannot be imagined. All of us will have different imaginations of the form of the Lord. So, one whose form cannot be imagined, or something beyond imagination, Siddhi. Another meaning, Swargadina Vinashitvada Phalatvam, meaning whenever we ask for something as a boon, we must never ask for heaven, Indralokam, Brahmalokam, because all that is also temporary. Just now, some time back I was telling, it depends on our karma, right? You do good things, once your good merit is exhausted, you have to come back. Whereas when it is moksha, liberation, Vaikuntham, Kailasam and so on, there is no coming back again, you are forever staying there. Now, all this is from the Shankara Bhashya. Shankara writes this. So, it can seem to be a bit philosophical and a bit difficult to understand. That is the reason why we have to refer to Parashara Bhatta's stories, because he tries to explain the same meaning with the help of stories, so it becomes easy to understand. Through storytelling, things are always easy. Through examples, things are always easy. That's the reason we say, right? Live by example. Why do we say this? When you tell a child, no, you must always speak the truth. You tell him, or maybe you always tell the child that no, every day in the morning you have to get up at 5 o'clock. It's very good habit to get up at 5 o'clock. You yourself get up at 9 o'clock. How will the child get up? Just advising someone orally and living by example makes a difference. So therefore, whenever we read the Shankara Bhashya or any other Bhashya like Parashara Bhatta's commentaries, anything, the only difference is you must know the philosophy, but you must also know the story and example, because that becomes easy to understand and follow. So both are correct. Now this doesn't mean that I look only at the stories, I don't look at the main part. You tell the child, it's not that you are not telling the child anything, you just randomly get up every day, tell no, I get up at 5, so you also get up at 5. This is not a logical way. You tell that no, you have to get up early in the morning, this is a good habit, so this is philosophy. At the same time, to make the child understand, you yourself do that. That's you live by example. So doing both things is important. Just no, I get up early in the morning, so you should also get up. Why you are getting up early, the child doesn't know. Whereas you explain the child, saying that no, this is a good practice, and at the same time you do the same thing. So a combination of both is very, very important. Same thing is done in all our commentaries written by the acharyas. Yes, someone saying something? No? Achha. Okay, so now let us look at a story for this. Siddhi. Now for this we have to refer to the Krishna Leela stories. So once Krishna, he felt that my mother Yashoda, she should get mukti, or she should get liberation, moksha. Now why Yashoda is so considered to be so important is that Yashoda is one mother, though she has not given birth to Krishna biologically, from day one she did not know that Krishna is my own son, that Krishna is actually not my son, sorry. But still she took care of him as more than her own son, right? And later in life, the most, you can say, the most depressing or the sad part is that later in life Yashoda gets to know, when Krishna leaves for Mathura, at that time Yashoda, she knows that this son of mine is actually not mine, it is Devaki's son. And at the time of birth, that actually given birth to a girl, and that has been exchanged. So looking at this, Yashoda feels very bad then, and you cannot imagine the plight or the dukkha. Now there are many mothers here, many parents here. You can maybe imagine this more than me, right? Someone says you live with a person for maybe 20 years, 30 years. Suddenly one fine day someone comes and says, no, he is not actually your son or your child, it is someone else's. So it is such a shocking situation. It can be even the other way around. It can be even for, if there are any young people, someone in our family or someone amongst our own circle, suddenly we say, no, this is actually not this, the identity is something different. We feel so bad, right? Or we get angry and so on. So just imagine the plight of Yashoda. She cared for her son for so many years, more than her life she cared, she did everything. But at the end she gets to know that Krishna is not my own son, and later Krishna never even returns back to Yashoda. We don't have much stories. Of course, there are a few folklores that are there, that Krishna comes back, meets Yashoda, but not much. So, but then still she never, and even when in the Krishna Leela stories, when Krishna eats mud, at that time he gives the Vishwarupa Darshana to Yashoda by opening his mouth. So for some time she gets mesmerized, she doesn't know what she is seeing, and but still she comes back to the mortal world, and still even though she saw that Krishna himself, now he wanted to give moksha, or he wanted Yashoda to know his real form, just like he was telling Arjuna in the Gita. Now Krishna is Purna Avatar, don't forget this. So therefore Krishna wanted to reveal his divinity to the people. So it is not a show off or an ego that comes in, but this is to show the difference between Rama Avatara, Krishna Avatara. Rama Avatara is Naravataraha, meaning a full man. So therefore that's the reason Rama lived like a man, he cried like a man, or he behaved like a man. His father told him go out, he had to go out. When he lost his wife was kidnapped, he cried like a normal man. He had to fight, he had to take the help of monkeys and bears, he had to do everything like a normal person. But in the case of Krishna, why the next avatar is Krishna Avatara? It is also an Naravatara, it is also a man's avatara. The only difference between Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara is Krishna felt that when the need comes in, you have to show your true powers. That is the reason why even today in the Kali Yuga we are still one step higher. Even when not needed also we show our power, right? You see the political scenario all around. You have best example. That is only example. But the only thing is, Krishna actually had those powers. In today's times, a person does not have any power. More than power, let us call it as knowledge. Doesn't know anything, but still he just wants to show his greatness and power. They just go somewhere, they don't know what they themselves are speaking and so on. So let's not get into this much, but I hope what I'm saying is clear. So I just gave an example of the political scenario. One person goes somewhere, he speaks something, he himself doesn't know what he's speaking. And then he comes back and people are mad behind him. So just to show that person's power, and it can be at the cost of even killing and troubling normal people also, but just because to show his status, the person ends up doing anything. So Krishna in the Dwapara Yuga, he realizes that being Rama alone, following only dharma, under the name of dharma doing everything is only going to lead to sadness. That is the reason in the Rama Avatara, Rama was plunged in sorrow. He was separated from his wife. Later, even after they return back to Ayodhya, after he becomes a king also, Sita had to go to the forest. And in so many places he was bound by dharma. Raja dharma, putra dharma, pati dharma. So everywhere he was in some or the other problem, he was bound by dharma. Even though the society kept names on him, even though he knew what he was doing was wrong, still he had to live that under the name of dharma. So Krishna felt that under the name of dharma, I should not do anything which will encourage evil people to do whatever they feel, or it will ensure that innocents are troubled. Like in the case of Sita, it was not her mistake at all, right? She was abducted by Ravana, it is not her mistake. Or just because the people of Ayodhya told something, Sita need not be banished. Of course, there are many other reasons why Sita was banished and so on. Let's not get into that. I'm not trying to term that what Rama did was wrong. That's not the question of debate here. But then, Krishna, he felt that the next avatara, Vishnu felt, I must not lead a life wherein under the name of dharma or under the name of what people think or what the society thinks, I end up suffering. I must do something which is legal. That is the reason you have the Upadesha of the Gita also. Because Rama and Krishna, because Vishnu knew that in the Kali Yuga, there are going to be situations wherein no, I have to do this as per dharma, as per law. But in certain situations, the law and rules must also be changed for our own betterment. That is the reason why, very simple everyday example, we have teachers, we have parents. We know anger is wrong. We know hitting our child is wrong. We know scolding the child is wrong. But then, when the time comes in, the mother must surely shout. Or the mother must surely stop the child from doing something wrong. Otherwise, later in life also the child is going to suffer. I'll tell you one simple story. Now, this story is from the Buddhist stories. You can consider the Jataka tales that we have. Especially in Buddhism, you have the story that is told, a very simple story. Wherein there was a mother and a son. They used to live all alone. A poor person, but the child had lost his father. So a son and his mother, they used to live in a house. And this child, what he used to do is, now usually children have this habit, right? All of us also we would have done as young kids. You go to a house, you see something new there, a toy or something, or you see something on the roadside, we pick it up and we bring it home, right? We don't know to whom it belongs, and a child doesn't know it belongs to someone else, or it has fallen down so I should not pick up. Such things now we might know, but for a small child, it sees something attractive, it will pick up and bring, and then it comes home and shows its mother, see what I got. So the mother immediately will ask, what you have got? So the child says, no, I bought it from here and so, and a normal mother will say, no, you should not do this, you go and keep it from wherever you got it, or if you have taken it from your friend also without asking, you give it back to the person. You should never borrow, steal and so on, right? But this mother who was there, she was like, under the name of love and affection for her son, she used to not tell her son anything. So this boy, what he used to do is, he used to go to his friend's house every day. And every day from their house, some or the other thing he used to bring. Maybe something to eat, or some toy, or some game. Or from others, whatever he could get, he used to steal, borrow and bring. Every day he used to bring something. The mother used to not tell anything, okay, I cannot give my son anything, so let him get whatever, whether let it be beg, borrow, steal, whatever it is, let my son be happy. So this is a mentality that she had. And like this the child kept on doing. The mother never told that what you're doing is wrong. And one fine day the child grew up, this person, now the son grew up, and he turned out to be a robber. Because he did not know that stealing is wrong. He turned to be a very great, you can say a very big and great robber. He started with small things, that is smaller toy and food items, he started stealing from people. Now he started stealing money, this and that as he grew up. And one fine day the police come in and they take the child away. And at that time the mother cries saying that no, don't take my son away, don't take my son away. And at that time the son makes a statement saying that he blames his mother. He says that when I was young, when I was small, you did not stop me. You did not tell me that what I was doing was wrong. Maybe it was just a small thing there. I just picked up a food item, a small toy or something. But I never knew that what I was doing was wrong. I never knew that stealing was wrong. I never knew that borrowing and begging without asking the person, should I take this, was wrong. And that is the reason today I'm doing some big crimes, I'm stealing something big because I never know that doing this was wrong until and unless the police have come and caught me. The mother feels very bad and she sits and cries. So this is just a small story. So then, here now what is a mistake? What the son said was correct, right? Now here a few of us might not like this. We might feel that look at the son, he himself has stolen everything and then he is blaming his mother. But the mother must surely be blamed because she never told the child that what he was doing is wrong. So the point that I'm trying to say is, as parents and as teachers, we also change our behavior, right? Though we know that getting angry, scolding the child or hitting the child is wrong, when the time comes in, we surely react in such a way so that the child does not do the mistake again. So similarly, Krishna also, the main aim of Krishna Avatara was, when the time comes, we have to also change little. Just as he advises Arjuna, under the name of relationships, he is my cousin, he is my brother, he is my acharya. If they are following the wrong path, and we have tried our level best to explain them for the sake of dharma, for the sake of welfare, that is your own kshatriya dharma, as well as the welfare of your subjects and people, you must fight this war. So this was the main aim of Krishna Avatar. So now coming back to this name Siddhi. So Yashoda, she used to feel very bad that she was basically a lady who was very good, but she felt very bad when later she came to know about Krishna not being her son. But still, she did not lose affection for Krishna, and it seems that her motherly affection was so much that even after Krishna grew up, not when he was not a very small child or a baby, even after he grew up, whenever she saw Krishna, her breasts used to ooze with milk, it seems. That is out of motherly affection. Now, though there is a lot of science and medical evidence behind why a mother has milk, but still today we see so many mothers who don't have milk. Even for a newborn child also, they cannot give their own milk. There are of course different medical conditions for that. That doesn't mean the mother does not have an affection or love. But then why that milk oozes out, it is due to motherly affection. Otherwise the milk will never come out. So in the case of Krishna, it seems that Yashoda had so much of affection and whenever she used to see Krishna, her breasts used to ooze with milk, it seems. This is all told by Narayana Kavi in Krishna Avatara, Krishna Leela stories. So that was the amount of affection that she had. She had not given birth to Krishna biologically. So therefore, milk, this concept can never come in. But then in her case, it happened so because that was the amount of love. More than a biological mother, she had developed that love and affection for Krishna. So once Krishna felt that my mother, she has so much of love and affection for me, I wish to give her mukti. I wish to give her moksha. I don't want her to suffer at all. So then he says that he tells Yashoda that I want to give you mukti. He feels in his mind. He does not tell her directly. But still now there is one thing. Even though the Lord wishes to give us something, at least we must have that 10% interest. Right? I wish to study the Vishnu Sahasranama. The Lord will pave a way for us. But at least that interest should come in us. Self-interest is important, right? Or self-will that we call. The will to learn something or the will to do. Without interest, no, I will just sit here, the God should come and bless me. Which God will come? No God will come. I will not do anything. But everything should come. Prosperous time should come, money should come, wealth should come. Nothing will come if you don't put in efforts, right? Put in 10%, the Lord will help. But I will not do anything, I will just simply sit, the Lord will not help. Even in the case of mukti, devotion, blessings also, it is the same thing. Be it any other thing or even for blessing. So then Krishna had this wish that I should give my mother Yashoda mukti. But then she never asked for it. So Krishna felt that now what, some or the other time she has to do this, right? She has to ask for mukti. So I cannot bless my devotees without them asking me anything. Out of my own accord, I cannot give her mukti. Maybe she does not want that. So indirectly many times he used to ask her what you want and so on. So then she used to tell, no, I don't want anything. I just want you to be around. I just want you to be good. I just want you to study. Don't wander about here and there. Because Krishna, we knew that he was just busy wandering here and there, taking his cows for grazing, coming back, enjoying with his friends, doing a lot of mischief. So Yashoda has to always tell her child, no, you study well. So the next step, Krishna used to ask, why should I study when? So then she used to tell for jnanam, for gaining knowledge. Next question Krishna used to ask, she used to like be a bit argumentative. He used to ask, why should I study? Why knowledge is important? And at that time Yashoda gives an answer, for getting mukti. So then Krishna says, okay, I'll give you mukti. Do you want mukti? He asks Yashoda indirectly. He wanted Yashoda to ask for mukti. She does not ask him directly. So through this conversation, indirectly Krishna says that, do you want mukti? Yashoda says, no, I do not want mukti. Krishna is surprised. He says, why? You only said now that the highest goal for everyone is mukti or moksha. Now you yourself don't want. Because she says that for me, mukti and the highest goal in life is seeing you settled. And she says that now you are still a very small child. I want you to see you married and so on. So this is my only wish that is there. Krishna says, okay. But ultimately it so happened that her only wish was to see, Yashoda wanted to see Krishna married off, like all other parents. Krishna married more than 16,000 times, but not even for a single marriage Yashoda was present. All the marriages were done by Devaki and Vasudeva only. So Yashoda's marriage was not at all fulfilled. Yashoda's wish, sorry. So now Krishna was also, he felt very bad that his mother had asked only one thing, but I'm not able to give even that. So now what should I do? I've married almost 16,000 times now, but still I'm not able to fulfill the wishes of my mother. What should I do now? So that is the reason why Krishna, or why Lord Vishnu, he took an avatara as the Srinivasa of Tirupati. That is Tirupati Balaji has incarnated there, and that's how we have the Srinivasa Padmavati Kalyanam that has become very, very famous till date. And there Krishna, Yashoda, she is born as a woman called Vakutamala. Vakutamala is the name of the woman who was born near the Tirupati Kshetram. And that's how she sees the Srinivasa Padmavati Kalyanam that takes place. So Yashoda's wish in Krishnavattara to see Krishna married did not take place even after Krishna marrying 16,000 times, more than 16,000 times. But in another avatara as Srinivasa, Vakutamala is a woman who is Yashoda, and she sees Srinivasa and Padmavati getting married. So Siddhaye Namaha is a nama. Even if we also chant this nama, we'll also get the fruits for whatever we ask, or more to put it nicely, for whatever is correct or for whatever is good for us, whatever we deserve. So you see, even in the case of Yashoda, her only wish was she wanted to see her son married. He married not once, not twice, more than 16,000 times. Still, it could not work. So you imagine the plight of you and me who are crying for even small things. Krishna himself, he married so many times. He himself was God, but he could not. If things do not have to work, they will never work. But if things have to work, they will surely work. That is the reason Krishna had to take another avatara as Srinivasa, and ensure that Srinivasa Padmavati Kalyanam will be seen by Yashoda, who will be born as a woman called Vakutamala. So Siddhi meaning only if he wills, things happen. If he does not will, nothing will happen. And this he tries to show in his own story when he himself has incarnated as Lord Krishna, and even though he married so many times, still Yashoda's wish could not be fulfilled. That's how destiny was, because in the next avatara he had to be born as Srinivasa. So Siddhaye Namaha is a nama, wherein if we pray to the Lord and whatever we ask, if we deserve that, surely the Lord ensures that we get it. Okay, did everyone understand this nama? Siddhaye?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Continue. Okay, I hope everyone is understanding, right? I hope it's not too boring.
No, madam, it's very, very interesting.
Okay.
Very
Anyway,
interesting, Lakshmiji. Very, very interesting.
anyway, you don't have an option to say it's boring. You have to stay. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Lakshmiji, Lakshmiji.
No.
We will not be continuing.
Otherwise, you would have not attended the class
Correct.
so regularly.
Yeah.
Correct.
Some
Okay.
childhood stories or listening is very pleasant. So this story is also very
Correct.
attractive, and listening, you want to listen more and more stories.
Correct. So now, though for all these months it is only one way, I am telling you the story and all of you are listening. After a few days now, I will tell you to tell the story and I will listen. Let's see. Everyone should be perfect then. Okay. Now next, Sarvadhi.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
I feel I'm just like a small child listening to stories from my grandmother.
Sarvadihi. Now, what is the significance of this nama, Sarvadihi? Anyone knows or anyone can guess? Sarvadihi is the 100th name of the Vishnu Sahasranama. Sarvadihi. So today finally we complete only 100 names out of 1008 names. Okay. So 100th name of the Vishnu Sahasranama, Sarvadihi. Now for this there is a story again. Sarvadihi, let's look at the definition. Sarva bhutanam adikaranatvat. Now karanatvat, that's an error there. Karanatvat. Ra is only one. There is no akara. Karanatvat sarvadihi means the cause of the living world. Today also if you see, cause of me is my mother or my parents. Cause of my parents, my grandparents. Like this you keep on and on and on. You go. It starts from Vishnu or it starts from Shiva. You see all our ancestors. That's why in the Abhivadanam, men who chant your Abhivadanam, you have the names of rishis. 3 rishis, 5 rishis, 7 rishis. That means they all belong to your family. They are all your ancestors. And the ancestors of those rishis are ultimately gods only. So Sarvadihi, like that if you see, ultimately all of us also, we are born in some lineage of the god only. Now for this there is a story. Now as per Sangam literature, I think few of you would be familiar with Vildur Swami or Karunakaracharya. Now today's so many acharyas that we have around. If I tell you the name of some acharya. Recently someone who was telling about the Sundarakandam. His father, what is his name? Anyone knows? I think he's a Vaishnavite. I think in the Shankara TV and such TVs they were showing, right, the Sundarakandam meaning that is there. I think Ravi Shankarji will know about that.
Velukudi Swami.
Velukudi, correct. Velukudi Swamigal, correct. Velukudi Swamigal, he and many others who are basically, you have even Dushyant Sridhar and so on, whenever they speak, you will say that they give references to this Karunakaracharya, Vildur Swami and so on. They are all of that same lineage, or if you see their acharyas are all belonging to this. Now Vildur Swami is very much a part of the 20th century only. So a story with regards to him.
Actually, Ranganatha, his son's name is Ranganatha.
Ranganatha, correct. Ranganathan.
100 days he
Yes. Ranganatha's father is Velukudi, correct. Yeah. So this Vildur Swami, if you see, they are all actually basically why I gave you these references. Today's times also we have all these Upanyasakars. You have Dushyant Sridhar or Velukudi Swamigal or his son Ranganathan and so on. They will all, or even Dr. Venkatesh who is there, he will all give reference to this Vildur Swami, Karunakaracharya and so on, because the reason is they all follow that same tradition, and a few of them, if you see, they have even directly taken guidance under them. So like this is a story with the next nama, Sarvadihi, Vildur Swami. So basically this Vildur Swami was a person who was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he has come to Kanchipuram in the temple of Varadaraja. We have the famous Varadaraja temple there. So he wanted to marry his daughter in the same temple premises, and the girls' party, girls' side family, everyone has reached, the relatives, friends, whoever was invited for the marriage, everyone has reached, and the boys' family did not turn up at all. So all the invitations have gone. It was a very good, like both the families had agreed, there was no problems, nothing, but still the boys' family did not turn up for the wedding. Oh, this Vildur Swami is worrying, saying, now I don't know what to do. All the arrangements are made, my daughter is waiting, everything is done, and the boys' family did not turn up. Now what should I do? Now in those times it was not that you have a phone or you can send a message, where are you, to contact, nothing. So they had this concept of sending those telegrams or letters. Even if that is done, it will take a few days, right? But marriage is fixed for today. Now what to do? So now this Vildur Swami, he goes and prays to Lord Varadaraja in the form of Lord Vishnu. And it is said that at that time this Lord Varadaraja, he manifests himself. He comes in front of Vildur Swami. This is an incident of the recent 19th-20th century incident. About 100 years back you can consider, roughly. So he comes, and this Varadaraja Lord, he tells Vildur Swami that, he tells him the story of Ramayana. Tells him the story of Vali and Sugriva. When Vali and Sugriva come face to face, they fight for the first time. When Rama promises to Sugriva that I will kill Vali, on the first day when Sugriva calls out to Vali, both of them they have a fight. Rama could not kill Vali. Rama could not shoot an arrow. Sugriva gets injured very badly. Sugriva feels that Rama has cheated on him. He comes back and questions Rama, saying that you told you will kill Vali, you did not shoot an arrow only. In fact, I got injured. Vali has hit me so badly. See all the injuries on my body. At that time, Rama says that I could not make out who is Vali, who is Sugriva. Both of you look the same. So, by mistake, I should not hit you. That is the reason why I did not shoot the arrow. So, Sugriva, he agrees to this, and on the next day, Lakshmana gives him a garland to wear around his neck to know the difference between who is Sugriva, who is Vali, and ultimately on the second day, Rama kills Vali. Now, why this story was told by Lord Varadaraja? He says that today, if the party doesn't come in, tomorrow it will surely happen. So, the next day what happens is, today was a fixed day of marriage, but it doesn't happen after some time or on the next day. The son's the boy's family had some issues while they were traveling, issues also, and they reached the next day. But in those times there was no point of contact, so we could not get any information, and ultimately on the next day also the muhurta was taken and the wedding was done. So through this incident, what is being shown is that Sarvadihi. Sarvadihi literally means one who takes care of everything. So though there might be a delay at times, I am asking today for something, today only I should be blessed with that. That might not happen. It might happen maybe 10 years later, but it will surely happen. So through this Nama, the Lord tried, though explanation of the story is very small, but then through this Nama, a very deep meaning has been told. That is, I am asking something for today, so I am asking something once, I should be blessed with that. If like this you are going to be blessed with everything, we should build a temple for ourselves. We are only God, right? But this patience or to wait for something is very, very important. Just in the previous Nama we saw, Yashoda had to wait not once, not twice, 16,000, more than 16,000 weddings, and even in that also it did not take place. She had to wait for the Lord take another avatara. So you see, this is a plight for even such a great lady, such a virtuous lady like Yashoda. So what about all of us? You just ask something once and you will get it. It doesn't happen that way. Waiting is very, very important. So though, just like Sugriva also, he had to suffer a bit, but then on the next day he could achieve. Similarly, this Vildur Swami also, he had to wait a bit, he had to worry, he did not know what to do, but still on the next day everything took place. Similarly, in our life also, problems will come in, there has to be some waiting period. There will be tough times, but then surely that will be overcome. So this is the meaning of this Nama, Sarvadihi. Sarvadhaye Namaha. If you chant this Nama, the Lord will surely pave a way. He will take care of everything. So we need not have to worry about that. That is the meaning of this Nama, Sarvadhaye Namaha. Okay. Did everyone understand this Nama? Yes? Okay. Next. Achyutaha. Now Achyuta literally meaning to change. Achyutaha, one who never changes. Your grandmother also worshipped Vishnu, your mother also worshipped Vishnu, you are also worshipping Vishnu. Tomorrow your future generations will also do the same thing. There was no Vishnu 1, Vishnu 2, Vishnu 3, no. There is only one Vishnu. Or for all the gods in general. So that is Achyutaha, one who never changes. Swarupa samarthyat na Achyutaha, na Chavate na Chavishyate ityachyutaha. One who will never change, one who never changed, one who is not changing, one who will never change. Past, present, future, it will remain one and the same only. And again, the form also doesn't change. No, 100 years back, Vishnu was looking little different. He had 6 hands, today it is 4, tomorrow it will become 2. It's not like that. It's only one image. So one who never changes, that is Achyutaha. Shashvatam Shivam Achyutam, Mahanarayana Upanishad goes about. So for this, there is a story that goes behind. Now, once Parashara Bhatta, one who has written the commentary as per the Vaishnava tradition on the Vishnu Sahasranama, he had this experience and he writes about his own experience in the commentaries. He writes that once he goes through a forest area, there he sees a hunter. And a hunter, he goes and he kills a rabbit. There are 2 rabbits, a male rabbit and a female rabbit. The male rabbit was killed by the hunter. He just randomly shoots. Now that is his way of earning a livelihood. He just randomly shoots an arrow. A male rabbit is killed by the hunter. And at that time, the female rabbit who was there, she feels very bad. She cries, but then immediately what she does is, she rushes to the hunter and she prays to the hunter. She tells the hunter, please. She falls at the feet of the hunter and she cries and says that, please don't take the life of my husband. You have killed my male rabbit, my partner, and so on. Don't do that, you do something, and so on. Now, when this arrow was shot, now hunters, if you see, or people who are experts in this, they or even doctors for that matter, when a person has a heart attack or something, the doctor will sometimes tell you that, like, you take the person to a nearby hospital, everything will be cured. That is, life is still being there. I'll tell you an example of my own grandfather in this instance. So, of course, it happened in the year 2020. He was almost 93 then. That's my father's father. In his case, he had never any illness or something, and he used to practice a lot of yoga and everything. He had a very good lifestyle, but of course, it was just old age. So when he passed away, the only thing was he just fainted. What happened is he had gone to the washroom, and while he was coming, he just fainted. So at that time, when you called the doctor, what happened? And he had just closed his eyes. That's it. Nothing else he was doing. He was breathing. He spoke and everything. But then ultimately, towards the end, he could not speak. So then, when we consulted the doctor said that no, the person is still breathing from inside, and maybe even though it is an old age, you just keep oxygen that is there, and he might be fine. So he said, so we said okay, because there was no other complexities. He did not even have this BP, diabetes, nothing. So then he was very good, and in fact, while he passed away also, on that day also, he ended up doing his madhyanikam. That's in the afternoon time, and that's how it happened. So then we never imagined that, and we felt that okay, it might be good. So why I'm telling you all this is, the doctor said that the life is still there inside. That is, the breath is still taking place inside, and you go and consult a nearby doctor. When they put in some external oxygen or something, the person might live in. So the same thing. So with this, we normal people, we can never make out. So this I have, through my own experience, I've seen. So I'm telling you. So normal people like you and me, when a person is just sleeping, is not responding, we might feel the person has died. But then no, life was still there inside. This the doctor could make out. And then of course in 1 or 2 days he passed away. But then in same way, in the case of this rabbit also, when the arrow was shot, the rabbit had almost died looking at it, because the arrow had pierced him. But still, when this female rabbit goes and cries to the hunter, he feels very bad for this. And what the hunter does is, when he goes near the male rabbit, and he sees the arrow being pierced, and when he touches the rabbit and sees the arrow, he could make out that life was still there a bit inside. If you remove the arrow in the right way, that is it. Now why I'm telling you all this is, just as in human beings, some external oxygen, or we have this concept of a ventilator or something, you keep life support, similar to that, even for these animals also, when you can remove the arrow properly. Even in the case of Ramayana also, you have this reference wherein when Dasharatha shoots an arrow on Shravan Kumar, you have the right way of removing the arrow. Dasharatha tried to do that, but the arrow had been pierced so deeply that Shravan, the boy Shravan, he lost his life. Similar to this, but then here the hunter said that he told the female rabbit, you don't worry, though life is almost gone, I will try my best to remove the arrow in such a way that at least the male rabbit will, if not fully, but he will come out in a few days. So this is somewhat similar to the coma situation that people go in, right? A person is in coma or brain dead, we say, but still some little life is there from outside, though we feel the person has died. So now why I am telling you all this so much in detail is, today when we have so many medical concepts that come in, all this, even through small stories, this Vishnu Sahasranama, so many other texts that we have, it's not that they just talk about some religious message. All today, whatever we see around, okay, all this external support that is given, it will not be. Now for a rabbit, it's not that it was a ventilation or oxygen, it's not like that. But the way of removing the arrow, or the hunter could make out that still little life is there. So that is all, or through the Ramayana reference that is there. So all such teachings are today, which we feel very proud. There, all this has been mentioned. Or in the Rig Veda, you have the story wherein Vishpala, the queen Vishpala, she was the one who lost her leg, and the Ashwini Kumaras come and do the surgery for her, wherein they offer her the artificial leg. Today, for people who lose their limbs, we have the concept of offering artificial legs, right? This was first done in the Rig Veda times. So like this, there are so many stories that are there. Only thing is, we are not aware of that. So whenever you look at these texts, though we must feel very proud about the advancements that we make in medical science or technology, whatever it is, but we must never forget our old scriptures. The reason being, there is so much inside. Only thing is, it might be in a simple way. So now, like in the case, here is just a rabbit and a hunter. It will not be a big hospital or big machines and tools that are taking place, but the ways are, the concept remains the same. So, like this rabbit also, he did not know anything. Almost life had gone, but little, about 10% or so life was there. The hunter removed the arrow in such a way that the person lived. The rabbit survived, and in a few days, it bounced back to normal. Now, looking at this, now Parashara Bhatta was looking at all this, and he fainted and fell down. And there were a few people. Now, he was living in a nearby village only, and in that there was a forest. So when the villagers, they were passing about, they saw Parashara fallen down, and they felt that, oh, this person is from our village. I don't know why he has fainted and fallen. Let us take him back. So they bring him back, and after some time, Parashara, he regains his consciousness, and they ask Parashara, what happened? You fell down in the middle of the forest. What happened? So then at that time, Parashara Bhatta says that I saw a unique sight, and looking at that sight, I fainted and fell down. So he could remember what he saw. So all the people asked, what did you see that you fainted and fell down like this? He started crying. Parashara started crying. He could not control his tears. So now all the people started getting more scared. He said, what now? This person, he is not even telling us. Now he started crying. He fainted and fell. All of them, they started worrying. And at that time, Parashara, he explains to everyone, saying that he tells the entire instance what he saw. He saw this hunter, the rabbits, and so on. All the people, they felt foolish, and some of them even started laughing at Parashara. He said that what, you just saw a hunter, a rabbit being killed, and then just because a female rabbit cried, he removed the arrow, and then the rabbit's life was saved, and so on. All this is fine, but then what is there to faint and fall at this? Parashara, he says that I relate this to the Lord of Ranganatha. And he says that in this instance of the hunter and the rabbits, the concept of Sharanagati can be seen. Now, what is Sharanagati? Now, the hunter's work is to kill and go off. He will never feel karuna, nothing. Maybe people like us, if a roadside dog or a cat, even if it gets hurt, we feel bad. Why? Because killing or eating something is not our way of life. Whereas for a hunter, or you see even in the non-veg shops and all, if you go on the roadside, maybe you kill all those chickens and everything. Maybe people like us might feel bad, right? How a chicken is being killed. We cannot even see that. We rush off from there. But for that person who's maybe the butcher or who's killing it every day, for him it is a normal thing, right? So similarly for this hunter, it was a very normal thing. And even in spite of being a very normal thing for the hunter, when the female bird went and asked for forgiveness, this shows a concept of Sharanagati. Now the female bird also, a female rabbit, it also goes there, and it does not maybe waste its time just crying by losing its partner. It was very thoughtful. It rushes to the hunter and prays to the hunter, saying that please save my partner's life. It falls at the feet of the hunter. So you see the thoughtfulness of the rabbit, that immediately it reacted without maybe crying and wasting time. Oh, my husband has died, oh, my partner has died. It does not do that. Immediately it rushes to the hunter and tells the hunter that you please save my partner's life. So this is a concept of Sharanagati. And the hunter too, in spite of saving someone or maybe feeling bad for someone, that is not his nature at all. When an animal is killed, the hunter will never feel bad. But still, when the rabbit fell at its feet, hunter realized that this is Sharanagati. This is a true concept of Sharanagati, and the hunter came and saved the person's life. So Parashara says that this is something which is very unique. Both the rabbit and the hunter, they showed qualities that were beyond their nature. Now when a person dies, only a few people who are very strong, you can say, they will only go and maybe consult 4 people what happened and so on. There might be few people who are very emotional, they will just sit and cry without finding a solution. And the hunter also, even though it is not his nature, but still he felt bad when this female rabbit came and fell. So then Parashara Bhatta says that looking at this, I felt so sad and I fainted and fell. So he felt that why I am crying is, he felt when even a hunter can go beyond his nature, a mere hunter and rabbit also can do this. You just imagine about the Lord of the world, that's Lord Ranganatha. Now in this context, it is Achyuta or Lord Vishnu. What kind of karuna he will feel for his devotees who are suffering in life and suffering on the earth full of problems. So So you just imagine that even for this rabbit also, if this hunter has changed, a mere hunter whose everyday life, whose everyday job is to kill animals and go about without feeling any karuna or compassion, even he also changed and felt bad and showed karuna and compassion. So you just imagine the Lord of the universe who has taken care of all the devotees and creations in this world, Achyutaha, who has never changed from day one. I'm just imagining about him and I get happy tears today, or I feel very bad when I think of this, that we as devotees fail, but the Lord never gives up, and he ensures that he takes care of everyone. So through this incident I felt very bad, and this thought came to my mind that the Lord himself, or Lord Ranganatha, is a Karuna Murti. When even a hunter can show compassion, just imagine the compassion of the Lord that he has over all his devotees. That too, human devotees, not only just an animal. So even for an animal also a hunter showed compassion. So the Lord, just imagine the compassion, amount of compassion or Karuna that the Lord will show on all his devotees. That is Achyutaya Namaha. This Nama if we chant, the Lord ensures that we are saved from everything. He will render his compassion on all of us. Did everyone understand this Nama? A very beautiful explanation. Did everyone understand? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So very, you can say very beautiful story. Okay, let's look at one more.
Very nicely explained on.
Yeah. Next, Vrishakapihi. Now for this we have to go to the Mahabharata reference. Vrishakapihi, I'll show you the reference. वर्षणात् सर्वकामानां धर्मो वृषः कात्तोयाद् भूमिमापाद् इति कपिः वराहः वृषरूपत्वात् कपिरूपत्वात् च वृषाकपिः. Now what is the meaning of this? This comes from the Shanta Parva of Mahabharata. You have Kapivaraha Shreshtascha Dharmascha Vrisha Uchyate Tasmad Vrishakrapimpaha Kashyapo Mam Prajapatihi. Now the ultimate meaning of Vrishakapihi, meaning Vrishakapi is one who is free from, you can say one who is a form of dharma only, that is Vrishakapihi. Now this is one who fulfills all our desires is Vrisha. One who protects us is Apadam from all kinds of dangers, that is basically earth is considered to be Bhumi Devi. You do anything but still the earth does not give up, right? You jump on her, you click on her, but still the earth is bearing all of us. And Kapi is actually water. So Vrisha Kapihi, meaning the Lord who is actually Dharma, who is protecting us like water and earth. Earth and water are two necessities without which we cannot live. Earth is bearing us, water is life, we say. So therefore Vrisha Kapihi, his meaning is one who is Dharma himself, or one who is responsible for protecting and taking care of all of us. Now for this there is a story from the Mahabharata times. Now okay, time is almost up, but should we look at this Nama? Is that fine? For about 2 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Now the Mahabharata Yuddham, we know the Kurukshetra war. It was the 17th day of the war, wherein the battle takes place between Karna and Arjuna. So as we know the story, Karna's chariot wheel, it falls in the mud and it gets stuck. So Karna gets down from his chariot to remove his wheel. At that time Krishna tells Arjuna, shoot an arrow, kill Karna. Karna hears this. Before Arjuna could react and do anything, Karna hears this conversation. He asks Krishna, oh Krishna, you are the one who speaks of dharma, right? Is it dharma? Have you not studied dharma? You don't know the rules of playing a war? When a person is in danger, when a person has fallen down, when a person's wheel is stuck in, you must never shoot an arrow. Whenever a war takes place, it should be face to face. When both the parties are equal, how can you shoot an arrow on me? Krishna tells, who are you to talk about dharma now? Where was your dharma when you supported Duryodhana? You know Duryodhana was evil. In spite of doing that, you supported him. Where was your dharma when the house of the Pandavas was lit in fire, it was burned by fire? You knew about that. You did not stand up then. Where was your dharma when Draupadi was being insulted in the court? At that time you enjoyed that, you also laughed along with the Kauravas. Where was your dharma when Abhimanyu was being killed in the Chakravyuham? You also supported the Kauravas only. So now who are you to talk about dharma now? You should never talk about dharma, you are not fit for that. Krishna tells this. Karna did not have any words to react. Now for this, in the concept of dharma also, there are two dharmas. Now on the part of Krishna, was this correct? Another question will come in. Right dharma is whenever a war is being played, both the parties should be equal, both the parties should have proper weapons in hand, chariots, ammunition, everything. Without that a war should not take place. That is, only then it will be an equal, fair war. So this is dharma. Now in dharma also there are two dharmas, Samanya dharmam and Vishesha dharmam. Samanya dharmam is Rama, Vishesha dharmam is Krishna. Samanya dharmam, that is all this warfare rules, fair war rules. A son should always respect his father. Or a brother should always, and younger brother should always respect his elder brother. This is Samanya dharmam. This is what all of us know. Vishesha dharmam is Prahlada, he disobeyed his father, Hiranyakashipu. Is this correct or is this wrong? Prahlada's father Hiranyakashipu used to tell, you have to worship me only. Hiranyaya Namaha, this is how you have to chant. Build temples of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada did not do that. Hiranyakashipu told that you should never worship Vishnu. Prahlada became the greatest devotee of Vishnu. He went against his father, right? Is this dharma? This is Vishesha dharma, because Hiranyakashipu was evil, so therefore dharma can change. As per dharma, son should respect his father, but if the father is evil, Samanya dharma cannot be followed, it has to be Vishesha dharma. Another example, Bharata. Bharata disowned his own mother Kaikeyi. How can one disown their own mother? She went on the wrong path, Bharata had to do that. Vishesha dharma. Vibhishana. How can one disrespect his own elder brother Ravana? Ravana was evil, therefore Vibhishana had to leave him. Same thing happened with Karna also. You decided to choose Duryodhana, you did not decide to choose the good party. That is your fault. Therefore, don't talk about dharma now. So there are two concepts, Samanya dharma, Vishesha dharma. If one's own father is being evil like Hiranyakashipu, then how can one go on the wrong path? How can one go on the right path then? Just because one son should worship one's father has been told, that doesn't mean that you do anything under the name of Samanya dharma. Now, for this it is said that in the case of Prahlada now, what all Hiranyakashipu did to torture him, but still Prahlada did not give up on his devotion. Does this mean that Prahlada did not know what is dharma? He knew what is dharma, but still at the same time he also knew that he knew respecting his father is good, but he also knew that doing something wrong and respecting, just because to save Samanya dharma, or generally because it is said that a son should respect one's father, doesn't mean that he does anything wrong. As we say, Krishnam dharmam sanatanam. Just as we say Krishnam vande jagadgurum, another word is Krishnam dharmam sanatanam. So here Karna, many questions are Krishna saying that is this correct? Krishna only is a form of dharma. So Vrishakapihi literally means one who is dharmam only, one who is dharma, one who is protecting us, one who is life for all of us, that is dharma. So one who always follows dharma. This nama if we chant Vrishakape, this nama if we chant Vrishakape namaha, means one who is free from this concepts, or you can say from this confusion of dharma sankadam, as we say, dharma sankata. Now there are many instances that come in one's life, right? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I respect my parents or should I go somewhere else? That is when, now just as in the case of Prahlada, Hiranyakashipu, though he was his father, he used to always torture him. So like this, if usually in our own cases, it doesn't happen that our parents do like that, but still, there can be a few people, it will not be only parents, but there are a few people, maybe they always try to show us the wrong path, or they'll try to, can say, demotivate you, or show us evil things. So at that time, what should I follow? Just because he's elder to me, just because he's my friend, just because he's my teacher, it doesn't mean that way. We must know what is right in life. So one who will always guide us from knowing what is right, from knowing the right dharma, that is Vrishakape namaha. So if we chant this nama also, we will be free from all confusions of dharma and always lead a good life. Okay, so today time is up. We will stop here.